To keep his word, Michael bought his 3 gal pals a large mansion in our neighborhood after making his fortune. On the first day of their housewarming party, the 3 invited Michael over. Late that night, I received a strange text message saying Michael was drunk and asking me to pick him up. Standing before the slightly ajar door, the scene before me left me utterly shocked, for people were sitting around the sofa playing poker, almost completely naked, with sticky notes plastered all over their faces. Michael, with an aggressive flourish, threw down 2 cards, a winning hand. Haha, Chloe, you're out of moves, aren't you? Come on, strip. Chloe was muttering curses as she reached out to unfasten her second to last item of clothing. Another gal pal, Sarah, raised her hand to stop her, then looked pointedly at Michael. Hey, she's got your baby inside her. Can't you act like a gentleman? Standing at the doorway, Sarah's words were a shock to my system. I thought and misheard. Chloe's next action left me even more dumbfounded. She waved her hand. Sarah, why bring that up when we're having fun? It's just that Michael had too much to drink that day and mistook me for his wife. Then she patted Michael's shoulder. With a mischievous grin, she said, don't worry. We grew up together. Besides, I don't want to have kids anyway. I'll get rid of this kid in a few days. Your wife won't know a thing. But grabbed Chloe's wrist. The playfulness vanished from his face. Are you serious? You're not ganging up to trick me, are you? Another gal pal, Olivia, smacked Michael on the back of his head with the cards in her hand. Damn it, have you only known us for a day? We'd rather trick you into thinking Chloe is a man than lie about her being pregnant. Hearing this, Michael remained serious. He stared intently at Chloe. If you're lying, I'll scratch you to death. But if it's true, then have the baby. Before could reply, Sarah noticed me standing at the doorway. She hollered, oh, welcome, welcome. Isn't it Mr. Michael's little drama queen? Haha, just kidding, Luna. Come in and sit down. I tried my best to hide my emotions. I walked over and sat next to Michael, but my gaze fell on the single piece of clothing he had left. A sticky note was still stuck to it. Michael noticed my gaze and coughed a few times. He ripped off the sticky note and slapped it onto Chloe's forehead. I told you not to put them wherever you want, but you had to mess around. If misunderstands, you're dead. Chloe chuckled. She flipped him off. Didn't you say to put the sticky note in my bra? This is called giving him a taste of his own medicine. Oh, sorry, Luna. If you don't like it. She picked up the sticky note. With nimble fingers, she tucked it into Michael's underwear. Now it's out of sight, out of mind. The other 2 saw them teasing each other and burst into booming laughter. Michael was muttering curses as he pinched Chloe's side. Not long after, he looked at me. Oh, by the way, honey, when did you get here? I was chilled to the bone, trembling uncontrollably in extreme sorrow. One truly couldn't shed a single tear. I just got here, and you called me in. Someone told me you drank too much and asked me to pick you up, but it seems you're doing just fine. I took a deep breath and told a lie. Michael breathed a sigh of relief at my answer. He picked up a t-shirt nearby and put it on. He pointed to his 3 gal pals. Fine, if you can't win, you call for backup. Pathetic. I, however, disdainfully shifted my seat, moving further away from him. Is this what you call revolutionary friendship? So, truly pure relationships can involve bearing it all. I'm actually curious. Are you all so close that you shower together? Hearing the malice in my tone, Chloe scoffed. She looked at Michael. Hey Michael, can you control your woman? There's a limit to how dramatic you can be. This is the house you gave us, not her place. Sarah echoed her sentiments. Exactly. If most women weren't so boring and couldn't handle it, we'd invite her too. Can't handle it? A smile played on my lips. It's just cards. I'll play. Michael's face darkened, and he stepped in front of me. Don't be ridiculous. You never play card games. You'll just get upset when you lose, and they'll have to go easy on you. Wouldn't that ruin the fun? But seemed interested. What's wrong, Michael? Don't you know the more the merrier? Just let her play. Perfect. We have a few more friends who want to join the fun too. I didn't know why she hadn't called anyone else before I arrived, but it didn't matter. The more people there were, the more thoroughly she would be humiliated. Luna, just so we're clear, we're all easygoing. If we play big. It's exactly as you've seen. You can only leave the table if you strip down to your underwear. Got it. If you want to back out now, it's not too late. Because of my trust, I never questioned Michael's social life. After all, when he was pursuing me, he once queued all day outside a trendy cafe, all for a cake I wanted to try. Even when I took only 1 bite, found it too sweet, and threw it away, he didn't get angry. I had always been aware of these 3 gal pals, but I believed in pure platonic friendships between men and women. Today, however, was the first time I'd witnessed their private interactions. It left me deeply shaken, hearing's words. Michael stepped forward and flicked her forehead. Go on, get out of here. Luna isn't playing. Don't let your shady friends come over. If you keep messing around, it'll make you strip down to nothing right here tonight if I don't go home. Their flirting and teasing made me sick to my stomach. I pushed Michael away. It's just entertainment. I've never interfered with your social life, and you have no right to refuse on my behalf. Michael was livid with anger. Fine, but don't come begging me to speak up for you when you're almost completely naked. Ungrateful. In less than 10 minutes, Chloe called over a dozen members of the punk crowd. A relay match. Chloe grinned mischievously. 4 people per round. The first one to strip completely is out, and the next person takes their place. The last one with clothes wins. No objections, right? Luna, why don't you go first? With that, she pulled Sarah and Olivia to the sofa to snack on sunflower seeds, letting the punk crowd go first. Michael was a little worried and wanted to join, but Chloe pulled him away too. Hey, someone's showing favoritism, aren't they? If you give your wife special treatment this time, don't bother coming to us anymore. Hey Emv. I didn't say anything. I calmly sat down at the card table and picked up the poker cards in front of me. Poker cards, to put it simply, are a math game. They seem to rely on luck, but they're inseparable from logic and calculations. Perhaps because he hadn't seen me working for so many years, Michael had forgotten that I was a PhD graduate in mathematics. Time ticked by. The people on the sofa, who had initially been full of playful mockery, gradually lost their smiles. It was summer, so everyone was wearing light clothing. The punk crowd was quickly eliminated one after another. I found it disgusting. Each time someone was eliminated, I recoiled and closed my eyes, until finally, there weren't enough of the punk crowd left to fill the spots, and I still hadn't lost even a single sock. I looked at the people on the sofa. Your turn to play. Sarah and Olivia had watched the entire game, and their faces were now filled with fear. They truly believed I could make them strip completely, but the card players were called by Chloe, and she couldn't back down. So, she had no choice but to be the first to take a spot. 10 minutes later, Chloe had only 2 items left. She clearly felt I was targeting her, but she was helpless. Another 5 minutes passed. I fanned out the cards in my hand and looked at Chloe. Strip, top or bottom. Although the punk crowd were all Chloe's friends, not a single person spoke up for her at that moment. Luna, haven't you caused enough trouble? Just as Chloe, mortified, reached to unfasten her bra clasp, Michael quickly came over. He forcefully pushed me away. Then he took off his own t-shirt and handed it to Chloe. You're both women. Do you really have to be so ruthless? I regained my balance and scoffed. Didn't you say you were like brothers? You're a man, so naturally, I treated her like one too. What? Can't handle it. I emphasized the last few words heavily, and Chloe's face turned beet red. She couldn't speak. Michael pointed at the door, dismissing me. I can't deal with someone as tactless as you. Get out. Don't ruin the atmosphere here. I glanced at the time. It was already 5 in the morning. The sky was already beginning to lighten. I gave Michael a cold stare and left without looking back, but I didn't go home. Instead, I went to Martha's place. She had strongly disliked me ever since she learned I was a dink. After his career took off, she secretly introduced him to many potential partners, but had rejected them all. I had thought he rejected them for me. But seeing this scene today, I realized I had been conceited. Martha, who was an early riser, was surprised to see me. Then she snapped. What are you doing here so early? I haven't prepared breakfast for you. Ignoring her snarky remarks, I directly stated my purpose. I'm planning to divorce Michael, so you won't have to delay having grandchildren. Here are the divorce papers. Find a way to trick Michael into signing them without him knowing. If he can't bring himself to let me go, you'll never hold a grandchild in your arms. Martha stared at me, as if trying to figure out what I was up to, but I didn't explain further. I put down the divorce papers and left. I hadn't slept all night, thinking of getting some rest at home. I pushed open the door and saw Michael busy in the kitchen. Seeing me return, he eagerly came to greet me. Honey, where have you been? I made you noodles. Eat them while they're hot. His demeanor made me wonder if the scene I'd witnessed earlier was merely my imagination. Seeing me remain still for a long time, Michael bent his knees and knelt. Honey, it's all my fault for speaking without thinking. You know I'm a sentimental person. Chloe and the others grew up with me in the old neighborhood. How could I distance myself from them just because I've become successful? I raised my hand and slapped him directly. Michael, I'm not without male friends, nor am I that stupid, whether you're innocent or not. You know in your heart. Michael froze. Then he started slapping himself repeatedly across the face, hitting himself and muttering curses. I ignored his ploy and went straight back to the room, overcome with drowsiness. I really wasn't in the mood to watch him self-flagellate. Michael immediately stopped and followed me into the room. He leaned in close. Honey, I need to talk to you about something. Seeing me close my eyes without speaking, he continued. I know you don't want to have kids, but my mom wants grandchildren. I'm in a difficult position, caught in the middle, and besides, having a child at our place would liven things up. How about this? We adopt a child. You won't have to raise them. My mom will take care of it. What do you think? His words completely dispelled my drowsiness. He wanted Chloe's baby to legitimately become his own child. Ding dong, the doorbell suddenly rang, breaking the tense atmosphere between us. After opened the door, Chloe's head peeked through the door. Oh, Mr. Michael, still up after playing all night? She squeezed in, grinning. Sarah and Olivia followed behind her, all three carrying a toiletry bag. The water heater broke, so we came here to borrow your place for a shower. With that, Chloe gave me a provocative look. We're just helping out among friends. Luna, you don't mind, do you? For some reason, her provocation made me feel much calmer. There was no need for me to grieve over a man like this. Seeing me remain silent, Chloe smiled triumphantly and waved at Sarah and Olivia. Our boy certainly knows how to train his dog, doesn't he? Much more obedient than just now. You two go shower first. I'll chat with Michael for a bit. With that, she started laughing and trading insults with Michael. I returned to my room with a cold expression, out of sight, out of mind. In a daze, a startled cry woke me, instantly dispelling all my sleepiness. I got up to see what was happening. At the entrance to the shared bathroom, I saw Chloe half lying in Michael's arms, wrapped in a towel. The towel had mostly slipped, revealing her. Damn it, Michael, why is your floor so slippery? If I hadn't called you to help me blow dry my hair, I would be seriously hurt myself at your place today. Help her blow dry her hair? Looking at Chloe's perfectly fine limbs, I felt a wave of nausea. Michael rolled his eyes in exasperation and reached out to pull up the towel, covering her ample bosom. Shut up. I think you're just drunk. What if you fell and hurt the bum mid-sentence? Michael looked up and saw me. He immediately changed his words. What if you fell and blamed me for money? Then he extended an index finger and poked Chloe on the forehead. Look at your loud voice. You woke up my wife? Chloe rolled her eyes. She reached out and hooked her arms around Michael's neck. I sprained my ankle. You have to carry me upstairs to change. Michael glanced at me. I'll go call Sarah and the others. But became more insistent, tightening her grip around him. Her eyes kept darting glances my way. Is that thing you have just for show? You expect women to do the heavy lifting? We might be tough on the inside, but we don't have what it takes. I noticed all her subtle moves. I calmly looked at Michael. Go ahead, if you go, we're getting a divorce. I could see Michael was struggling internally, but he didn't know that his hesitation in that moment had already sealed his fate. Chloe poked Michael with her arm. They understood each other perfectly. Michael made his decision immediately. Honey, don't be angry. It was so sudden. Chloe is a bit heavy, and those other weaklings really can't carry her. I'll make her put on her clothes and leave right away. With that, he decisively picked up Chloe and headed toward the upstairs guest room. I collapsed onto the bed. Their outrageous behavior had reached a point where I couldn't even feel anger anymore. Ding dong, my cell phone text message suddenly chimed. 50 million had been deposited. I immediately perked up. Just as I was wondering who had sent it, Martha's message arrived right after. Don't try any tricks, no backing out. Seeing these words, I couldn't help but laugh. Michael's mother really disliked me. She actually thought I was trying to trick her and was afraid I'd go back on my word and refuse to leave her son. Well, that's fine. She wanted grandchildren anyway. With the money received, my sleepiness vanished. I simply got up and packed my luggage. Michael didn't return for a long time. A text message came first. Honey, Chloe isn't feeling well. I'm taking her to the hospital. I quickly finished packing my luggage and left the house. Since he didn't care about his reputation, I saw no need to save face for him. Next was the day Hayes was scheduled to go public. He was busy with Chloe's baby and also with the company's IPO. After he discovered I was gone, He only sent a few text messages telling me to come back once I had calmed down. But he didn't know, from the moment he decided to help Chloe get dressed, Hayes was destined to never go public. I turned on the TV right on time. Michael stood proudly on stage, announcing the news that the company was about to go public. When the camera panned to the audience, I even saw Chloe and her friends excitedly applauding. But the next second, when the secretary turned on the projector, the audience fell silent. The large screen clearly showed footage of Michael playing poker with his gal pals at their mansion that day. Their shameless jokes and banter also played through the speakers. The secretary was stunned for a moment before he reacted. He rushed forward to turn off the screen and speakers. But he found that no matter what he did, the screen wouldn't turn off. He had no choice but to urgently call the IT department for assistance. But during the waiting time, all the attendees had already watched the entire poker game. People in the audience began to whisper among themselves, "What's the difference between a CEO like this and an ancient tyrannical leader? Would you dare invest?" I certainly wouldn't. The person who leaked this video is a hero. Otherwise, we might have lost everything. Hello, 911. I suspect the Hayes CEO of public indecency and lewd conduct. Yes, I have evidence. That woman also said she was pregnant with his child, but I thought Mr. Michael had a wife. It wasn't until the broadcast was frantically cut off that I got up from the TV. Back then, I minored in computer science, and my major course scores were even higher than those of computer science majors. When bought the mansion for his 3 gal pals, he even considerately installed surveillance cameras to ensure their safety. It took almost no effort for me to hack into the mansion's surveillance system. Shareholders who had originally decided to invest in Hayes immediately withdrew their investments. No one dared to risk their money with such an absurd CEO, even though Michael was extremely dedicated to his work. But now, everyone had glimpsed his private life. They would only think he was good at faking it. The Friends poker video quickly spread across the entire internet. Comments beneath Hayes' official social media account were filled with netizens' sarcasm and ridicule. Every word was a jab. Hayes' PR department couldn't keep up with deleting them. Unable to deal with the vast number of netizens, Michael decided to deal with me instead. "Luna, you're my wife. How could you use such methods against me?" Michael said, gritting his teeth. After finally getting through to me on the phone, I sneered and retorted, "Has your mom asked you to sign anything lately?" Hearing this, Michael froze, as if suddenly realizing something. You wouldn't?" "Yes, the divorce papers have been signed, and given your egregious behavior, there's no need to wait for the 30-day cooling-off period, so we are no longer husband and wife." With that, I hung up the phone. The very next day, I received a legal notice. Michael was suing me for defamation of the company's reputation. At the same time, Sarah and Olivia simultaneously started a live stream, proving that their friendship was purely platonic. But netizens didn't buy into that story at all. They scoffed in the live chat comments. "If it's a pure friendship, then give back the mansion. That's marital assets. What right do you have to it?" Seeing that their two mouths couldn't argue against millions of voices, I decided to fan the flames. I also started a live stream. Before going live, I deliberately made myself look gaunt, applying a large amount of light red eyeshadow to my eyelids, making my eyes appear swollen from crying. Originally, I also believed in pure platonic friendships between men and women, so I never questioned my husband buying them a mansion. But have you ever seen close friends sleep together? What's worse, not only do they not think they did anything wrong, but they're also suing me. Upon seeing this, netizens on Sarah's live stream cursed even more fiercely. Many also reported them. Before long, their live stream was shut down. Michael's mom called me. She immediately launched into a barrage of insults. "You wretched woman, have you no shame? After all I did for you and giving you 50 million, let me tell you, I have transfer records and can sue you." Unfortunately, such threats had no effect on me. Over the years, because I was a dink, she had subtly and overtly sabotaged me countless times. I had endured it all because she was an elder. Now, there was no longer any need to endure. "Madam, your message was very clear. No backing out. I haven't violated any agreement," I replied cheerfully. "Oh, and congratulations on becoming a grandmother." With that, I hung up the phone and blocked her. Hayes used their money power to finally suppress the trending topics. Michael didn't sue me, because I was simply stating the facts, not slandering him. A lawsuit couldn't actually cause me substantial harm. I had thought that after this incident, they might have some shame and settle down. However, a few days later, I suddenly received a photo from an unknown number. I opened it and was blinded by what I saw. Michael's three gal pals had all moved into the Hayes home at the same time, sitting at the same dining table with Michael and his mother. They looked harmonious, like a mother with her four children. A message followed right after. Martha said that after you left, our home is much livelier, unlike some people who are just gloomy. Oh, by the way, Martha also gave me $500,000 to buy gold for the baby inside her. Martha also said that it's good that some barren hen left. I scoffed. Chloe's provocation inflicted zero damage on me. It was ironic that she prides herself on being a tough girl, yet her current wifey talk perfectly exposed her true nature. After thinking for a moment, I replied to her, "Yep, you're right. Martha really dislikes me. Otherwise, she wouldn't have been willing to give me $50 million just to get me to leave Michael." There was no reply from her after that. Soon, Michael called from a different number, his roar deafening. "Luna, you yourself didn't want children. Chloe, out of loyalty to our friendship, was willing to lend me her womb to have an heir, and you deliberately provoke her? Are you even human?" What a niche term. So, that's how opposite-sex friends share organs. Since insisted on walking right into my trap, I saw no need to be considerate of his reputation. So I showed him a clear path. "Michael, have you ever looked inside my study?" The topic changed too quickly. Michael didn't react immediately. He asked me, confused, "Why would I go to your study?" "Don't change the subject. Apologize to Chloe immediately. If anything happens to our Hayes family's child, it'll make you pay." I sneered. "I know you're anxious, but try not to be. Go open the second to last locked drawer under the desk and take a look." With that, I hung up. This time, I didn't block him. I watched my watch, counting the minutes. Sure enough, 10 minutes later, Michael called me again, but this time, his arrogance was gone. "Luna, this medical report. You forged it, didn't you? You're jealous of our friendship, so you want to upset me." I didn't speak, but my silence made Michael even more desperate than an admission would have, because the date on that azoospermia certificate was exactly the same as our premarital medical exam, and the hospital seal couldn't be faked. Actually, I wasn't a dink at all at the time. I had a child with Michael in mind when I went to the hospital for the premarital medical exam. Afterward, he was busy with work and forgot to look at the exam results. When I saw he had azoospermia, I was sad for a long time. This meant that unless we used assisted reproductive technology, it would be very difficult for us to have children. Moreover, it concerned a man's pride, and I feared admitting his problem would affect him psychologically. After much deliberation, I hid that medical report. I told Michael that having children would cause too much damage to my body and decided to be a dink. Michael had always respected my opinions. Therefore, although he was a bit disappointed, he still expressed that he would respect my decision. On the other end of the phone, Michael's voice was already choking up. "No, azoospermia just means a very low sperm count. There's still a chance of conceiving." I couldn't even bother to tell him the difference between azoospermia and oligospermia. If he wanted to delude himself, then so be it anyway. I had said all I needed to say. "Well then, congratulations in advance on your unexpected fatherhood," I said before hanging up. Unless one was truly mentally resilient, no one could ignore that medical report. Although was stubborn, he secretly sought out the punk crowd Chloe had called to play cards with us that day, and he uncovered an even more shocking truth. He only had these 3 opposite-sex good friends, but had a whole group, and she was incredibly generous. Since she could so magnanimously lend Michael her organ to have an heir, it was certainly no problem to help her other friends satisfy their needs. As for what she used, that depended on how good Chloe's relationship was with them. Once a seed of doubt was planted, it would take root and spread wildly. I was overseas on vacation, holding a large sum of divorce settlement money and the $50 million Michael's mother had given me. Idly flipping through TV programs, I actually stumbled upon the local entertainment gossip channel. Recently, netizens claimed to have seen Hayes chairman forcibly dragging a woman to the obstetrics and gynecology department for an abortion. 2 women were reportedly following behind, trying to stop him. It is said that the 3 women are the female protagonists of the poker scandal that emerged during Hayes' IPO recently. The video was secretly filmed and quite blurry, but I instantly recognized Michael's figure, and the person being dragged by her hair on the ground. Who else could it be but Chloe? I took out my phone, found the original video, and with the mindset of watching the drama unfold, I pricked up my ears and listened closely to their argument. "I treated you as a good friend, and even divorced Luna because of you, only for you to treat me like a total sucker. You wretched woman, You're really generous with your friends, aren't you? After you get rid of the baby, you also have to return the $500,000 my mom gave you for jewelry. Despite Olivia's continuous attempts to stop him, Michael had already seen red with rage. He was incredibly strong. He pushed Sarah and Olivia aside and cursed furiously. Don't you to think you're innocent? If I find out you helped this wretched woman make me look like an idiot, I'll make you pay. Seeing's demonic look, Sarah and Olivia shrank back. They didn't dare say a word to calm him. I asked a friend who worked at the hospital for information. It turned out that on the very day Michael had called me, he had arranged for a paternity test on the baby inside Chloe. The result was exactly what he had feared. Michael, furious, reclaimed the mansion he had bought for his 3 gal pals. He also took back all the gifts and money he had ever given them, leaving them nothing. By this point, Michael finally remembered me. Michael's jarring phone call came while I was sipping a coconut on the beach. Honey, hit me. Yell at me. It was all my fault for losing my mind, letting those 3 wretched women play me for a fool all these years, he cried, snot and tears flowing. Just come back, and I'll let you manage all of Hayes' finances. If my mom doesn't like you, I won't let her come to our house, please. Just give me another chance. I instinctively glanced at my bank account balance. The string of zeros gave me an instant sense of security. Besides, did he really think I didn't know that Hayes had been constantly selling off assets during this period? Michael, as former husband and wife, I'll kindly offer you some more advice. Azoospermia doesn't mean you can't conceive at all. It might just be blocked ducts. With technology so advanced now, as long as you find someone willing to have your child, it's not impossible. If you find Chloe too dirty, there's always Sarah and Olivia, but don't come to me. I find you dirty. I enunciated the last few words syllable by syllable. I decisively hung up the phone and clinked glasses with the blonde, blue-eyed guy next to me. When I was young, I was truly blinded by love. It turns out, as long as your bank balance is strong enough, you can be very comfortable even without love. After traveling overseas for over half a year and visiting every place I wanted to see, I reluctantly returned home. It was late at night when I arrived back at the neighborhood entrance, and several figures suddenly sprang out from the shadows. The leader unexpectedly slapped me across the face. You wretched woman, if you hadn't been sowing discord, Michael, after all these years of friendship, wouldn't have insisted on cutting ties with us. It was Chloe immediately after. 2 shrill, harsh voices chimed in. Hey you certainly hid for a long time, making us wait for you here all this time. If it weren't for you, this wretched woman, Michael wouldn't have taken back the house. You made us sleep on the streets for so long. You must compensate us for emotional distress. $5 million for each of us. That's $15 million for the 3 of us. Consider it a bargain. I seized the moment and slapped her back. What do I care? You have so many friends. Go borrow from them. If you have nowhere to live, go stay at their places. My snarky remarks made all 3 of their faces contort with rage. Chloe pointed at me, almost poking me in the eye. Luna, you're dead. We already notified our other friends when we found out you were back today. You're going to pay up. Soon. Her eyes lit up. They're here. I turned to look, and dozens of the punk crowd were approaching us, carrying various tools, walking towards us, watching smug expression. I shook my head helplessly. Their combined IQ probably doesn't crack triple digits. She knew to call in her crew the moment she saw me. Didn't she think I'd call the police the moment I saw them? The reason I was arguing pointlessly with them for so long was I was stalling. After all, our neighborhood was far from downtown, and police response time would take a while. If I let them leave today, they would keep bothering me like flies afterward. Only by catching them all could I live here peacefully. I also had to thank Chloe for being impressively foolish. Originally, if they had just come to block me here, they would have been released after 10 days or half a month at most. But calling in dozens of unemployed troublemakers at once constituted disturbing the peace, coupled with Sarah and Olivia just demanding $15 million from me. It already amounted to extortion, and no small amount, before the punk crowd even had a chance to warm up. They were blinded by glaring headlights. Police, drop your weapons and get on the ground with your hands behind your heads. Luna, are you okay, Luna? A hurried figure rushed over, and his disheveled appearance surprised me. Even when Michael and I were so poor we ate instant ramen for every meal, he had never looked so down and out. A cheap t-shirt, worn out jeans. No wonder Chloe wasn't bothering Michael. In the past 6 months, Hayes had sold off everything they could. Now, they couldn't even afford to pay salaries. They had already filed for bankruptcy protection. Seeing that there was nothing left to gain from Michael, these lazy freeloaders set their sights on me. When they had no money for food, they would freeload for food and drinks from the punk crowd. As for what they used to pay, it's obvious. You should probably ask your good friends if they're okay first, I sneered. Michael looked at the three with disgust, especially Chloe, whom he clearly hated her guts. Haven't you three done enough by destroying our marriage? Chloe, I've already shown you restraint. Chloe too completely cut ties with Michael. Didn't you used to say you'd stand by your friends through anything? And now, just because this woman is sowing discord, you're cutting us off. Now we're helping you get your money back from her. You should be thanking us, Michael. Don't think I don't know. You just find Luna too boring to spend time playing poker with, don't you? Ha 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 ha. Chloe's unbridled laughter made Michael's face turn pale. My own face went ashen. I had thought Michael was only having an affair with Chloe. I never imagined he was so disgusting. Luckily, I had a medical checkup when I got my passport, so my health was fine. Otherwise, the consequences would have been unthinkable. Seeing publicly expose his private life, Michael wasn't about to back down. What kind of person are you? You take my money and then use it to spoil the punk crowd. Oh, speaking of money, Michael looked at the police officers. I'm reporting them. These three individuals illegally took 10 million of my private assets and refused to return them. I demand that she repay the unjust enrichment. He was short on cash now. Previously, out of dignity, Michael hadn't wanted to bother with the assets he had given Chloe. But now Chloe was publicly exposing his secrets. If held back now, he'd be a complete loser. Wait, Michael, are you serious? This is between you and Chloe. Don't demand money from us, Sarah said, displeased, and Olivia nodded vigorously. Chloe stared wide-eyed at the two who had once done her bidding. You two bitches. Who was it before who eagerly said they couldn't have hooked up with a sugar daddy like Michael if it weren't for me kicking me while I'm down? I truly misjudged you. But without shared interests, their friendship dissolved instantly. These words further enraged Michael, and the four immediately started arguing fiercely on the spot. Naturally, the police wouldn't let them fight in the street. They took them all back to the station. Michael looked back at me in a panic. Luna, quickly tell the police officers we're not just acquaintances. I scoffed. Sorry, but you're at best an irrelevant ex-husband to me. Why would I care about you causing trouble in the street? With that, I elegantly turned and walked away. This neighborhood wasn't livable anymore. I listed it for a low price, and it sold quickly anyway. I had plenty of money, so I could go anywhere later. I heard that Chloe and the other two couldn't repay Michael. They also slandered him everywhere, and the Hayes family went completely bankrupt. And they accumulated a mountain of debt. His mother also suffered a stroke and was bedridden because of it, and the hefty medical bills caused Michael an even bigger headache. Michael blamed all of this on his three gal pals. He utterly despised them. He pretended to invite them out for drinks to clear up misunderstandings, but when they were drunk, he murdered them. Burdened with 3 lives, Michael was sentenced to death. Before his execution, I received a call saying Michael wanted to see me. I refused. One never truly grows without paying a price. It's just that for some, the price is too high. Thank you for watching this video. If you have any thoughts about this story, feel free to share them in the comment section.